Just want to do a quick video on my thoughts on gradings and awarding belts. Now, I've seen quite a lot in the past of people achieving a certain level. To me, and again, all standards are different, all expectations are different, but to me I look and I just think, really? We've got to be careful as instructors that we're not just rewarding people because of time served, or because of, time served is one element, or because we're friends with them. We have to take each individual's needs into account, and also take each individual as is, as an individual, not as a group thing. We all do progress at different rates, yes, but when you are grading somebody, when we're grading somebody for all grades, I've sort of looked more in depth at, because I'm doing this on my own now, that we can expect a lot more from students. We can expect them to do more bunkai. We can expect them to be more disciplined. We don't just have to give them the grade because they've turned up to class. No grade should be that way anyway. Not in my eyes, it shouldn't. But you see a lot of stuff on YouTube, and you see a lot of poor karate schools and poor karate standard, and you just think, how do some of these people become black belts? Because a black belt should have a bit more control over what their body and what their arms are doing. They shouldn't, their arms should at least look like they're attached to the body. So when you're grading, don't just sort of think, well, I'm this grade and I deserve it. You don't look at so much what for a grade. Don't look at so much what you've done in that class. I was talking to somebody the other day, and this person said to me that they hope they deserve their grade. Well, don't so much look at what you've done in that class. Yes, that's an added factor, but look at what you have also done leading up to that. A boxer isn't tested in the ring, just merely recognised there. A boxer is tested the months and years of training up to a fight for those 12 or however many rounds it goes for. An Olympic athlete, that 9 or 10 seconds of the 100 metres is done in. An Olympic athlete will train years and years and years just to get to that position, and they're working so hard for that 10 seconds of their life. So when it comes to grading, just know that grades should never be given. It should never be political. It should never be purely because somebody's turned up, and it should never be because an instructor, requires the grading fee, as it were. So just if you're being given something in your club and you're not up to that sort of standard, then it's up to you to maybe. You shouldn't really say something to the instructor and say, I don't deserve this grade, because the instructor clearly thinks you do. But it's up to you as an individual, karate student, karateka, kung fu person, martial arts person for gradings, to earn that grade and make sure that you earn it. So when you walk away with that grade, you've earned it. You might get it before time served, you might get it, before classes you've done. Again, you just look on YouTube and I see, the jiu-jitsu guys, people walking in with to their dojos and onto their mats with, black belts, and saying that we're a black belt in jiu-jitsu. But then they get called out, and it's like, well, you're not a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and they get called out on that, which I think is pretty amazing, for a martial arts school to do that. I've seen people that are, that claim the rank of 10th dan. And that to me is a little bit crazy. Mario Higona, who is, if you Google him or YouTube him, he's classed as the hardest man in Japan. Okay, and he's an 8th dan, and he's in his 60s, maybe 70s. So you just got I've trained with somebody called Tasaki, Master Tasaki, and I think he was probably 7th or 8th dan. And these guys are masters at their trade. They are, they know a lot of stuff, and yet they only claim the rank of, when I say only, I don't mean to belittle that, but they claim the rank of 7th and 8th down. But then I see people out there that claim the rank of 10th, 11th, 12th down, and I just think, to me, that's questionable. To me, that's questionable. When I first started Tadashi, when you start a club, you can claim whatever grade you wish. I got to the rank in my previous club to 4th dan, which was the highest grade that I possibly could get to in that club. There was no syllabus beyond 4th dan. I could have claimed I was a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th dan. But why would I do that? Why would I write myself a certificate to do that? Or why would I claim that grade? So just be aware of gradings. Grading should be, they should be challenging, not only to the body but to the mind as well. And they shouldn't be purely because, you've got time served or anything like that. Grading is an individual thing, and they say that achieving a black belt is the start of training. So when you grade, it's a journey. It's never a destination. I don't think there is a destination in any martial art. So just be aware of that. I like to sort of think of the grades as, and I got told this story, whether it's true or not, I don't care, because I like this story. And back in the old days, there were 2 grades. There was white and there was black. Again, I don't know if this is true. I really don't care, but I like it. So I tell this to students. So there was white and there was black, and in your white belt you would eat, sleep, work, train in your white belt. Until after a few years, it would then be a dirty colour of black. So you would then be a black belt. However, we Westerners, and again this ties in with the same story, we Westerners can't do 5, 6, 7 years without having something for our achievements. So I think that's where the grading system came in. So every system has got white to black, I would assume. In fact, I'll just talk about karate. Karate's got white to black, and then dan grades, 1st dan, 2nd dan, and so on. But you have coloured belts in between, and they're like milestones for you to achieve. And it's just because Westerners are, I'll use the term, we can be greedy, and we can't go so long without having something for our achievements. At the end of the month, do I get paid? Imagine if you had to work 6 months and not get paid, or if you had to go 5, 6, 7 years and not grade until your instructor said, you'd quit after a while, wouldn't you? So it helps with retention as well of students to have that colour system. And again, tying in with the same story, don't care if it's true, but I like it. So tying with the same story is you never wash your belt, because it washes away all the knowledge. So if you were to get to that black belt where it's dirty, it's grubby, you've worked and you've slept in, etc., and then you wash your belt, it then becomes white again. So you should never wash your belt, because the belief, again, the story from the belief I've been told is that it washes away your knowledge. So there's a little bit of a, whether it's general knowledge or whether it's just hearsay, or whether it's but I like the story. I've got another story on bowing, but I can use that another time. But just be aware of grades. Do you deserve your grade would be the question to ask. Not only you, but and if your instructor is giving you the grade, then the instructor's questionable, I would say. But that again is just my opinion, can be disputed. So don't stick with somebody, don't stick around in a club because you are getting something, because you might not deserve it. I've seen people in the past that have come in and they've been first cues and black belts in other clubs, and I've just thought, it's questionable. Even some from that are coming to Tadashi, I just think that's crazy. I hear stories of kids that have been training for 6 years, but yet struggle in a club, because it's a big commercialised club, struggle to put 3 punches together coming forwards, and I just think something wrong there. They're not even getting the Kion side of things. So that was just a short, nearly 10-minute video on grading. Sorry, but it's important. It's important. It's important to me, and it should be important to you for your progress in your karate. And I'm not just talking about people in Tadashi. I'm talking to people all over. I again dispute it. Don't dispute it. But just You know, stay true, stay pure to yourself. And if you don't deserve it, get yourself to deserve it. Okay?